Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for all new videos. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we will be discussing 7 things to never ignore when you're considering bringing a person into your life. Whether it's your friend, a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a family member, whoever you are considering to be a part of your life, you should definitely vet, because having the wrong person in your life can hinder your journey, the prosperity within your journey, the deliverance within your journey. It can affect a lot when you are not vetting people and just bringing them into your life just off of really nothing. I think that a lot of people put people into their lives based off of loneliness, trauma, and just unawareness that if you bring the wrong people into your life, it can affect you mentally, physically, livelihood. I mean, I've seen situations where you bring the wrong person in and you'll end up with a court case. And I actually have been through that through experience. So I definitely have a lot of experience in the area of not paying attention to my surroundings and the people that were in my life, to where I had to now learn these new techniques and ways that I have been reflecting in my life for the past few years, as to why now I am at a better place and I am at peace, and I just feel good because I finally got rid of those toxic people. So number 1, I would say, is the energy of a person. And I quite often sometimes ignore the energy of a person a lot, because I always give people the benefit of the doubt. That was always been my thing. So I would ignore just signs of uncomfortability that I have with this person, or just, it's like a gut feeling that just be hurting when I'm with this person, and or whatever person I'm with, and I just ignore it because I just feel like I could just be seeing things or reading things wrong. And I learned ignoring the energy and the spirit of a person is definitely life-threatening, because if you do not pay attention to those things, those people can come into your life and destroy it in just a snap of a finger. I'm trying to tell you, a snap of a finger. Referencing back to energy, I mean how you feel when you're with this person. Is it a sense of peace? Is it a sense of calmness? Does this person make you feel good when you're around them? Are they making you smile? Do you know that this person has, a good energy? Like, there's nothing negative going on when you're around this person. This is what you need to look for when you're thinking about energy. If every time you show up around this person and y'all in some type of argument, there's a fight going on, there's a whole bunch of just chaos, that's not the person to be around. That energy is definitely an energy to not ignore, because those are just the first signs to just further issues along the road. Number 2 is words spoken in anger. Now, I have an issue with this personally, and I had to overcome it. And it really was a get back, because I wasn't really a confrontational, argumentative person unless you really push me. And then the only way I would really speak my feelings would be in words of anger. And most of those were true. So a lot of times I hurt a lot of people's feelings that I never realized. So words you speak in anger is definitely a sign to never ignore in a person, especially if they haven't worked on it and recognized that that's something that they do. You need to definitely run away from that, because words spoken in anger can really get embedded in your head and affect the relationship that you have with that person. Because even though you might say those things are forgiven, you still have those thoughts in your head. It's still there that this person said that. It still weighs if it's true. So you have to really consider the things that you're saying to people in anger and what people are saying to you in anger. Because if someone's angry at you and all of a sudden they say, well, you're just fat and sloppy, that means that they think you're fat and sloppy. And it just really, that's how they just spoke their truth, which is in anger. And I've experienced that, and I've also had it done to me and done to others. So I can understand when I say that you definitely need to not speak words in anger, and you need to pay attention to the people that speak to you in anger and the things that they say. And also take an effect to watch what you say to others too, because sometimes a lot of people don't realize it, but words do hurt. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that a person who speaks words to you in anger is a bad person. I'm saying that if this person is doing it to you on purpose, yes. And it's also a sign to not ignore. Because when you get mature, you start to understand that the words you speak hold value. So when you are arguing with someone, like I had to grow into that. Now when I argue with someone, I'm really cautious on the words I say to them. I'm really very cognitive and thinking on what next to do and what next to say that won't be taken the wrong way or cause an argument or just make the situation more difficult than where it already is. Because as I stated, I don't like a lot of conflict and arguing. I grew up in that type of scenario, and typically once the argument has completed, there's physical activity afterwards. So I'm used to having physical activity, so I try to stay away from arguments because it brings me back to defense mode where now I feel like I gotta fight you. So definitely words can affect a lot of things afterwards. So just be considerate on your words when you are angry, as well as listen to the words that are spoken to you in anger. And don't get an excuse on it. Bring it straight to the head. If someone says something to you disrespectful in anger, you need to bring it up and address it. And if you don't see that their honesty is there and it's not shown within their actions, and it also is a repetitive pattern, let them go. So number 3, you guys, and you know I take notes, so I'm going through my notes. And number 3, I put cycles that are consistent. So I like consistency, which means you are a woman or a man of your word and you do as you say. I don't have to check in with you or question why you disappeared for a week or disappeared for 2 days. I don't like disappearing acts. I don't like people who do small lies continuously. Because if you're lying about small things, that tells me that when something big come around, you're not going to have the courage to tell me the truth about it, because you don't have the courage to tell me the truth about the small things. So that type of consistency where you're repeatedly saying the same pattern of lying, poor communication. What's another one that I do not like? Disrespect. That's a big one. And especially somebody down talking to you. So, and that's another thing. You have to really pay attention to the things that people are saying to you and see how consistent they're saying it. So if I'm constantly talking to you and every time I'm talking to you, you are telling me I need to change something in my body, do something in my life that's different, you're clearly belittling me. You're clearly saying you don't think that I have anything to show for myself or value, or you want me to be something that I'm clearly not. You're not respecting who I am. You're not learning me. You're trying to throw things at my head to make me want to change. So those are things that you need to pay attention to when I mean, like, what are the cycles of consistency? Are they good cycles of consistency, or are they the negative side of consistency, which is the lying, the poor communication, the belittling? And sometimes you can get people who are literally abusive. And I've had a scenario like that where someone will continue to put their hand on me and say they will stop. So that's a consistency that is a poor and bad consistency that you need to definitely get away from. Okay? Now, some good consistencies I'll put in the next. So I'm back. I like to keep my videos at a minimum length. That way the upload is easy. So when it comes to another good forms of consistency are like good communication, someone who's punctual, someone who's a person of their word. Like when they say they're doing something, they doing it. You know, someone who checks in consistently. It's not like you disappear for a week and then you pop up like, hey, what's up? Like everything is cool. There's no explanation as to where you were. Which even then, I feel like if you are dealing with someone on a level of closeness and y'all have a understanding that you're trying to build something and you disappear for a week and there's nothing to be discussed about, or even during that time frame of a week you didn't have like 10 minutes to shoot a text or shoot a call or shoot a FaceTime, nothing, that tells me you're lying about something. And that for me is a red flag. That's a red flag to the point where I will fall back. Like I won't even talk to you. I will just slowly discontinue conversation. Now this one is a big one. This one is number 4. I call it the fruit. And I think a lot of people, especially us women, we get caught up in the words, and we have to be honest about that. And sometimes we can just hear all of this and don't see nothing and just keep going. And I have been guilty of that, and it definitely led me down some paths that were just like, wow, like I never knew this was the truth. And when I say like you really need to start paying attention to the fruit, like you need to pay attention. Like if they telling you they got this, they got that, you need to start checking records, checking social media, paying attention to how they act when they're around you, how they conversate with people. Are you meeting people that they know? Like, or are you just in the back burner not knowing nothing? You have to pay attention to the fruit, because I also learned that, you know, when a man lying a lot, they don't like to show a lot of things. So if you're not being shown nothing, they're not talking to you about nothing that's important that's going on in real life, then you should know that they are lying. Number 5 is spiritual witness in your heart. This is basically reference to whoever you praise to. I praise to God only. I don't know about others, but spiritual awareness, spiritual learning, your relationship with God. And I feel like in order to find your mate, you have to find your relationship with God first. And that's really the first step. And once you find a relationship with God, you find a relationship with yourself, and then you'll be able to find the mate. When you're able to find that mate, you will have that spiritual clarity whether this mate's for you or not, because you would feel it in your heart. You would listen to God, you would meditate and pray. You won't just be holding your heart, but you have more steps in clearly your spiritual practice, whatever it is you do. But for me, it'd be prayer and meditate and really seek his voice and try to hear what he's saying and what it feels like to me in the spirit. You know, I really pay attention to how I feel now, because I feel like how I feel is what's talking to me. We're going to be rushing this a little bit now. We're going to go to number 6, which says never look over the counsel over those who you know and love you. So if you have some actual real good people in your life that's supporting you, that you know love you and want the best for you, it's definitely good to seek their counsel when you're picking a person, but then it comes to friend, family, or relationship, you guys, because all these people can betray you. All these people can have false faces. So you have to pay attention to who you are vetting, okay? The person that you're vetting, meet this person that you find that is important to you, and let them give you their real personal opinion. Don't try to tell them not to tell you the truth, because the truth is important. Number 7 is going back to the beginning of cycles that are consistent. And number 3, this one for number 7 is negative outcome. So if this person is consistently giving you negative outcome, they are not the person for you. If every time you're around them, you caught up in some drama, you're arguing, you're fighting, you know, somebody's calling your phone every time you leave a house and saying that you're with their man, those are examples of negative outcomes. And I'm saying a lot of these things based on experience. So when I'm telling you that someone is having negative outcomes, and those examples I gave you, those are examples that I went through where I said it was consistent negative outcomes. If every time you're around a person and you just feel uneasy, and or every time you're around a person and there's somebody approaching you questioning your relationship with that person, let me tell you something, that's a negative outcome. So guys, I'm going to end it on that note. Those are just 7 things that you just must never ignore when you're vetting a person into your life. I found it has helped me, cut away from all the bad people I had in my life. It has also helped me now vet the new people that come into my life and the things that I look for. There also are many other things to the list depending on who you are personally and what you have going on in your life and your purpose with God. But those are just the 7 bases to consider when just bringing someone in on an introduction, because like I said, there are many steps in your life that a person's going to have to prove their worthiness of being in there. So these 7 steps does not automatically this person's in your life and they're just trusted, because along the way you have to test them through all different type of trials that happen in your life to see what kind of heart they have, because you only really know a person by their heart and how they respond to you during the rough, bad times, and during the times where you don't feel as worthy or you have a lot going on that's against you, that doesn't look like it's good in your favor. How was these people that you said that love you show up for you? And that's what you need to really consider when vetting people in your life, okay? You guys have a great day. I'm going to be heading out. I have some errands to run. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for all new videos. You guys have a blessed day. Smooches.